One of the toughest things about being in a toxic relationship is that we generally don't even realize just how toxic it is until it's pretty far gone. Because of our relationship programming, which is what we think is normal in relationships based on our upbringings, it can be really easy to look past all of those red flags swinging right in your face. We learn to normalize or even downright ignore a lot of these concerns because it's what's familiar to us. It's what we're used to. It's all that we know. And what makes this even more difficult is that typically one or both partners become pretty hooked on each other by the time there's an awareness that these red flags were not just a minor concern, but probably should have been a deal breaker from the get-go. It's crucial to gain awareness around your relationship programming. So again, things that you're commonly drawn to and the behaviors you tend to overlook because they've been normalized, as well as some effective ways to remove yourself from these dynamics earlier before that attachment or the feeling hooked takes place. It's also important to be aware of common characteristics of a toxic relationship. So first of all, knowing what the toxic cycle looks like. So this is a perpetual cycle of intense infatuation, and then there's often heightened conflict, which leads to breaking up, not resolving the issue, getting back together, and then back to intense infatuation, which starts it all over. Other signs of a toxic relationship would include abuse of any kind, the frequent use of manipulation to control each other, repeated violation of boundaries, a lack of ownership or accountability, frequently playing the victim or the martyr role, a lack of safety to openly express wants, needs, desires, concerns, hurts, one or both partners feeling as though they're frequently walking on eggshells around the other because they're never certain what's going to happen next, behaving or reacting in ways that you're embarrassed of or regretful for more and more often, and one or both people making statements such as, "But when it's good, it's so good." That's often a sign it's not so good. Keep in mind that we all have red flag behaviors that we engage in, so we're not looking for perfection from a partner. But we have to start to become more aware of this gray area between working on your relationship and putting in mutual efforts towards improving it versus simply just remaining an active participant in an ongoing toxic cycle. Once you become more aware of these toxic relationship tendencies, as well as your relationship programming, so what has drawn you to these tendencies, you can start to work on your relationship reprogramming. And this is where you start to change those patterns and start to seek out relationships that feel both healthy and safe.